Good morning, everybody. Hi, welcome to today's vlog video. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's September, which for me means it's fall. I know fall officially only starts at like the 21st of September, but I do not care. I am in the mood for fall. I don't care that we are currently having like 30 degrees outside, and I definitely need an outfit change later. Yeah, we're gonna just deal with that. The sun is shining into my room. The sun is giving my plants the light that they deserve to grow. And today we are decorating for fall. That's the plan. We are turning my room into a fall/autumn wonderland with pumpkins and candles and more pumpkins and what else do I have? Mushrooms. I have mushrooms. But I actually went decor shopping yesterday, and I think it's a good idea to just start this video out with like in telling you and showing you everything that I got. So I'm just gonna get that bag and we're gonna get on with that. And then later on I'm also gonna give you some very quick, very short, very good book recommendations for fall reads. So books you can read to get into the mood of fall in case you are not, unlike me. Don't be alarmed, it's a big bag. There is tissue paper in here. I'm just gonna start with this because I don't know what else to do. Okay, so the first thing we have, there was a sale at the decor shop for last year's decorations, so this was all manageable. I got a pumpkin, a knitted one. I mean, there is styrofoam inside it. But I thought this was really cute, and I thought this would look like really cute next to my book card. So we have one knitted pumpkin and a second knitted pumpkin. This one's a little like larger, like not larger in size, but the knitting is different and the fabric feels more woolly. I think I'm gonna go with the not so interesting things first. We have little coasters. I got 4 little coasters for the candles because I got colorful candles, and if I put the colorful candles in my bookshelf, I'm gonna have colorful residues of the candles, and I don't want that, so I have coasters. I have to find my box with fall decorations, and I'm scared that the box with fall decorations is in the corner behind my bookshelf, because then I would have to move my wardrobe, which is always a pain. Okay, oh yes. So this is the first mushroom that we have. Look at this. This is the first one. It's made of wood. And then we have the first wrapped up package. What is this? We have another little mushroom. Look at it. Surprise! We have another mushroom. Wow. The funny thing is I don't remember what's in any of these. Oh, okay. So this one is just a little, like, pumpkin candle. That's kind of pretty. Next we have this little guy for, like, a tiny little candle to put inside. And I thought this would look really nice as fall decor. Then we have the cheapest thing ever. This was one euro. Like, this wooden leaf. I think this was, like, last year's and nobody wanted it. So I grabbed it because I was like, you can put this down somewhere. Maybe not on the bookshelf because it's a little too bulky for that, but I have a whole room to decorate. Like, we'll be here for a while. Ooh, this is interesting. This is a tiny little glass pumpkin that, wait for it, it can light up. It's so cool. I love it. I love it. It lights up. It's definitely gonna go on my bookshelf. And then the last thing that I got, ooh, not the receipts. I got those too, sadly. We have the candles I talked about earlier. We have the green one. And we have the orange one. I think these are pretty candles, and with like the leaf hangers on them. Really nice. I'm so excited. Fall is like my favorite season ever. And so whenever I get to like decorate for it, I am extremely happy. Extremely happy. I have to also show you my cup. Wait, my mug. Look at this one. It's perfect. I'm done. And now, decorating for fall is very minimal. Like, I'm not gonna put like a huge pumpkin out. Says the person who just put a huge pumpkin out. So now I think it's time to get somewhere cozy, grab some tea, and talk about all the books that have anything to do with fall. Alright, I have accumulated quite the collection for you guys, and I'm just gonna give you some very quick fall book recommendations that are gonna be for everybody. Like, I have everything in here for different vibes, different genres, different kinds of feelings. And a lot of witches, honestly, because that's fall for me. So just let me know if you plan on reading any of these, if any of these are on your TBR, if you've liked some of them. I'd be really interested in like talking to you about that. So I don't have an order, I just picked these out from my shelf and we're gonna go through them now. First up we have A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I read this book this summer, which wasn't the right season for it, but it was still incredible. We have Marielle, who is supposedly the most powerful witch in the world, although nobody really thinks that. Like, there was a prophecy that she would be the most powerful, but she just isn't. All she can do is, like, make flowers grow. When she is trying to summon, I think, flower, she accidentally summons a demon. And then the demon has to pretend to be a warlock because he cannot stay away from her, and he has to deliver her soul to hell, basically. And this is like their story, their love story, and this just sets the mood completely right. This is like small town, fall, forest, a little bit of an adventure, but so much romance, and I just like this a lot. Sticking with the fall theme and the magic theme, we have The Ex-Hex. This is about Vivian. Nice name, by the way. Vivian accidentally cursed her ex. That's what she did. And now that curse is slowly spreading through her hometown because her ex is still cursed, and she didn't know that she could actually do that, but she did. And now she has to get, like, together with her ex again and try and stop this curse from destroying their town. And it's a really cute one. It's a really good one to get, like, in the fall mood, which is, again, Halloween is a big topic, so this might be a good read for you in October. I don't know, but it's really nice. And it's also, like, mostly romance themed. We have another revenge plot in Payback is a Witch. Again, with the witches, right? We're just throwing them out there. Ah, there's a spider. I don't like you. Give me a second. Where is it? Where'd it go? Where'd the spider go? Where'd you go, buddy? Okay. No, did you go fast? Why are you so fast? Ooh, come in here. Come in here. I don't want to hurt you. I want to get you out of here. Come on. Ooh, why are you so fast? This spider is so fast. Ah, I don't want to hurt you. Come on. Get in here. Oh, I caught it. Why are you so fast? Okay, I'm gonna let that spider out later. Anyway, we have revenge, mostly. This is a story about Emmy, who has to return back for her hometown for a very, very special and an important witchcraft event. Like, their hometown is a town of witches, and she has to return because she's going to be the judge of this competition that's going on between the most powerful witch houses that there are. So she left the town because of her ex and because of a lot of things that happened, and then she comes back, and then she meets Talia. And Talia is technically a component in this thing, and a lot of different things happen during this tournament, and then there's this very, very cute sapphic romance, and it's such a nice book. It's very nice. Next up, we have The Dead Romantics. Now, if you know me, this is one of my favorite books of all time. This is such a great book. The book focuses on Florence, and Florence is a ghostwriter who can see ghosts, so she picked the right job, apparently. And Florence has a new publisher, and that's like this super hot guy, and she's like a little intimidated by him, but then she gets a call that her dad died. And her family has a funeral home, and her dad planned his whole funeral himself, and he made a list of things that he definitely needs at his funeral, and now they have to go on like a quest to find this. But when Florence returns home, on her doorstep is her publisher, but he's a ghost. Anyway, Florence and her publisher then go on this quest to find these things because they just have to do it. And then there is this cute romance between Florence and the ghost. It's really good. You should definitely pick this up. This is the perfect fall book. Next, we are moving into a little different direction. We're going away from these cutesy books, and we're moving to a little more hardcore fantasy. This was the only like real fantasy book that I thought would fit this vibe very well, and that's From Blood and Ash. From Blood and Ash always gives me this fall vibe, even though the book isn't necessarily like a fall book. This is an epic fantasy adventure with like 5 books in a series and like a prequel. But From Blood and Ash is about Poppy, and she is the chosen maiden, and she has no idea what that means. All she knows is that she's not supposed to show her face, and she's always hidden away, and she's very protected. And then there is Poppy's guard, Hawk something, and he is very, very handsome, and they sort of have a thing for each other. There's like a lot of things going on in this kingdom. and it's very good. Next up, we have a book that does not connect to any of the other books. We have a horror book. We have House of Hollow. This was something very, very different, something that I wasn't expecting. We have three sisters, the three Hollow sisters, who somehow disappear and travel into a different world. And 3 months later, they reappear, but they look completely different. Their hair is white, their eyes are black, and they don't remember anything, and they're like, something's not really okay with them. And then years later, when Iris, the main character, is 17, they try to figure out what happened back then with them. And then one of the sisters goes missing, and the other two are trying to find her. So this is a little bit of a fantasy, but I would say this is definitely more horror. I remember this being a little gory and like just very dark. Next up, we have a book that you've probably not heard of, honestly. Like, I read this ages ago. Like when I was 14, I read this series. I love this series, and I still love this series. I am talking about Night School by C.J. Doughty. This is a typical 2014 book. We have Allie, who's a troublemaker, and then she goes to this boarding school, and then there is this secret night school society, and it's so fun, it's so good. This book is so nice. This was my childhood. I remember I read the 4th book about 10 times because I had to wait about a year for the 5th one to come out, and I was just extremely excited about this series. Also, fall vibes definitely here. This is a thriller series. I forgot to mention this. It's a thriller series, no fantasy. Next up, we have Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. This is an interesting book because this is sort of out of the perspective of a villain. We have the main character, Joanne, who is a monster, but her magical ability is time travel. Now, the only way a monster can time travel is by taking time from another human. So they have to go around, take the time from the human that they like pick, and then use that time, like their lifetime, to travel back in time. And then there's like competing monster families, and they're like killing each other. She and the guy from the other family have to flee, and they have to figure out what the like secrets are behind these monsters and behind these monster families. Next, we have a book that I just finished. We have Anatomy. So this is set in 1817, and we have Hazel, who is a female who wants to become a surgeon or like a doctor. And she's obviously not allowed because she's a girl, and the only thing she's supposed to do is marry her cousin. Which sounds a little, ugh. I still have to read the 2nd book, and I'm going to because I enjoyed this one a lot. This is very fast. We are in the time of a plague, like a fever or flu, and there's so many people dying, and then there's grave robbers who take the bodies out of the graves so that the like medical staff can practice surgery on the bodies. And this is just such a cool book. Like, if you're very squeamish with like blood and gore, might not be your book, but it's really, really good. Next, we have Stalking Jack the Ripper. Stalking Jack the Ripper is set in 1888, so we are exactly in the period of Jack the Ripper, who did his murders in 1888, in case you didn't know. It's very easy to remember, 1888, Jack the Ripper. We have Audrey Rose, who is also like a lady of like high birth, and she is apprenticing with her uncle to learn about forensics and become like a forensics professional. And so she is trying to figure out who Jack the Ripper is, essentially, and she has this incredible sidekick, and I talked about this in like last week's video at like the recommendation, so I'm not gonna make this too long, but it's so good, so good. Next up, we have The Atlas Six. The Atlas Six is an incredible like dark academia set in like college, and it's so good. We have this magical community, and it's just so great. It gives these dark vibes that you just need. So this is good. Last but not least, we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I couldn't have made a fall recommendations video without putting A Good Girl's Guide to Murder in. You just need a little murder in fall. And that's just not just me talking, that's just a fact. And this is it. This is your dose of murder. We have Pip, who's trying to uncover an old case and trying to prove the innocence of the proclaimed murderer. It's so good. It gives fall vibes. It has everything in it that you need. It is YA, but it is very dark in my opinion, and it gets darker by each book. And that was it. Those were all my fall recommendations. I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. I like doing recommendations, so definitely if you have any more like recommendations that you want, like specific ones, I can do that. I have read a lot of books. I can recommend a lot of stuff. I hope you all have an awesome rest of the day, and I will see you for the next one. Goodbye, and pick up one of these books. Like, they're really great. See ya!